Hello, truth seekers. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the shocking truth about the glamorous world of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here again, diving into the scandalous realm of royalty that is about to rock the monarchy to its core. Get ready, because the palace, the situation, and the controversial duo Harry and Meghan are on the verge of irreparable consequences. But before we plunge into this revelation, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the explosive content we have lined up. Brace yourselves for the aftermath akin to Armageddon following Harry's reported decision to release yet another explosive book filled with anti-royal sentiment and airing of grievances. This is the climax that will sever any remaining ties and goodwill for good. Just when you thought their actions couldn't get any more audacious, here comes the latest blow to remind us of their true colors. One revealing memoir, packed with exaggerations and attacks directed at the very family that bestowed upon him every privilege, wasn't sufficient for Harry, it appears. Harry and Meghan have opted to escalate their public feud rather than seeking reconciliation or maintaining dignified silence. Their upcoming memoir is expected to reveal private moments and conversations not intended for public consumption, fueling further controversy. It appears their mission is to dismantle the monarchy piece by piece, despite the personal and institutional harm it may cause. The impending release of the memoir has created tension within the palace, with insiders anticipating the impact of Harry's next literary work. The Queen, reportedly heartbroken by the ongoing public betrayals, has been convening emergency meetings with senior advisors to plan the monarchy's response. Public opinion is divided, with some supporting Harry and Meghan's narrative while others see their actions as a relentless assault on an already vulnerable institution. The media frenzy surrounding the book is expected to spark debates about the monarchy's relevance and future in modern society. As we await the release of this anticipated book, it's clear that the saga of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is far from over. The couple appears determined to challenge norms and provoke change, regardless of the consequences. Whether this will lead to positive transformation or further division remains uncertain. This feeble, weeping excuse for a grown man, who is unmistakably under Meghan's control and manipulation, has chosen to launch one final attack on the institution that is the royal family, solely for the sake of a few extra dollars from PayPal. It's a repulsive display of behavior, even by the despicable standards set by these two individuals. Just picture the inflated sense of self-importance and complete disregard for consequences that would lead this mediocre social media personality to conclude, why stop at exposing generations of family secrets and launching cruel personal assaults on my own relatives in a best-selling book? I must push even further and reveal more scandalous information about the royal family for my own selfish benefit. Which is saying a lot, since the Windsor halfwits have not only made an entire cottage industry of shamelessly bashing and cashing in on any tenuous connections to the monarchy that they still cling to. But this is a new low at how traitorous and disloyal it is even for the race-less Windsor turds. Harry truly has now hit cut-off territory in this latest money-grabbing abomination. Although, no one here needs a Kardashian-level Illuminati conspiracy to figure out who is really perpetuating this deplorable behavior. Harry looks unto vacancy, glazed and blank, and you can tell instantly that his ruin of a personhood is cuckolded and leashed by his wifey wife, his soul muzzled, padlocked. But Meghan's icy claws are sunken far too deeply into that fame-starved simp by now. He is her personal marionette puppet to pull the strings on and degrade as it pleases her. How much manipulation and coercion is going on behind the scenes can only be guessed at the moment. But Harry was a vivid, vigorous figure turned merely a shadow of what he had been. It is an ugly, harsh shift that mirrors the poisonous, dysfunctional relationship dynamics. Meghan is relentless in her pursuit of fame and fortune, it seems, and it is Harry who is losing out at the expense of his dignity and his integrity. The sheer cheek of continuing to cash in on the royal connections while criticizing them, is surely a lesson in hypocrisy. Workers air their complaints in an endless drama of cries from and for the public, only for us all to be slapped with one bill or another for the inconvenience. Every new revelation or scandal seems machined to hold the eye to them no matter what damage to their family or to monarchy. A tragic display of the dangers of ambition and the corrosive impact of fame. Harry entering this circle of public shaming and abandonment serves as a stark reminder of what can happen to us all when we forget our duty to maintain our virtue and bow to an egomaniac on a power trip. Their actions only show them as one of the scandalous and disgraceful pages in royal lore.ermsk. In the end, though, this long-running and sad spectacle is more than just a story of personal tragedy for Harry, but one that should serve as a warning for anyone who might be starting to think being famous could be fun. It very brutally makes clear that the pursuit of attention and affirmations never ends well, and can often serve to erase who you are in favor of a blank get-likes-quick idealism. This reversal of fortune, particularly after Harry's emphatic about-face with the help of Meghan, stands as a poignant example of what it means to become complicit in a hollow promise of getting out of yourself while getting out of life. And poor Harry, as a full-grown man, has apparently become weakened and overly reliant. Even so, one thing that cannot be denied is that he is responsible for where he finds himself in his life. But one must also remember who is causing the continuing destruction of his family. The one person behind this maelstrom is the ice-hearted, toxic ambition Meghan Markle. Her ability to use and control Harry as a pawn to clear way for her is strategic beyond belief. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have crossed a line that can never be uncrossed with the publishing of their new book. At the end of his last nerve, King Charles is outraged that Harry has dared to further exploit his family's private matters and lobbed more accusations. This latest action is not just another slight, it is an intentionally destructive strike at the heart of the royal family. Harry had already caused a massive split between him and the rest of the royals, particularly his father King Charles and his brother Prince William from the original fallout from Harry's first tell-all book. The despair of being disowned so publicly, the tension palpable. The subsequent media circus was unrelenting. Harry, it seemed, determined to make a quick buck with scant regard for the monarchy. But following this with another tell-all book by Harry, detailing new allegations and personal grievances, smacks of the deepest betrayal. It is not merely a catalogue of his complaints, it is an intended and an unforgivable act of disobedience. King Charles has never been so angered before in answer to this latest move. Palace insiders say the king hit the roof amid claims Harry's attacks have finally broken any semblance of a bond that can never be repaired. Several sources close to the royal situation in the UK liken the scene to a pro-wrestling storyline, filled with drama and high stakes. There are reports that the normally measured King Charles has gone nuclear over the news of Harry's second book. This has taken an unprecedented toll on the royal family, with relationships broken beyond repair. The continuing story reveals not just the severe divide in the royal family on a personal level, but also the deeper consequences of any public spat. A monarchy, something steeped in tradition and decorum, falling victim to such a modern type of warfare, media exploitation and personal vendettas. As the Duke and Duchess of Sussex press their case, the world has been riveted by the spectacle. These actions have consequences. Period. Full stop. And it is the relentless drive to be independent and financially self-sufficient that has cost Harry and Meghan dear, both in terms of family and public reputation. It is a test of the monarchy in terms of resilience and adaptability with unknown challenges. Conclusion: although Harry made some poor choices, it's apparent Meghan's drive and cunning have done the most in creating this mess. The ramifications will undoubtedly be felt by the royal family, but where does the centuries-old institution go from here? Torch-bearers, pitchfork carvers, hard-line scorched earthers of such the berry white people who prince have never imagined. To paraphrase the immortal words of the late Michael Corleone, this is the business we have chosen. Harry crossed the last line with his ultimate disrespect and money-grab profiteering off the private affairs of the monarchy that is said to have Prince Charles ready to go full beast mode on him. Charles is certain that he has not other options except for fighting fire with fire if he is going to protect the firm and defend his family name from this snake of a son. It is about legacy, about pride, of keeping the crown from the mud and making a spectacle out of the people who are the very concept of parasitic scum, who are doing nothing but using their own birthrights for personal benefit. Charles has had it with these two grifters of grifters, and all pretenses have been officially thrown out the window and out to the blazing airlock crescendo of finality. This dead final chapter is headed. The king, it is becoming increasingly clear, has through various press leaks and insiders decided to do exactly that, and declare war, go scorched earth, and make sure Harry and his vile wife are shunned from the royal orbits forever. Except we're talking about losing titles, cutting people off, and all of their security personnel being stripped from them. The full 9 yards of publicly disowning them, the family they cling like breakable barnacles. Gone are the days of trying to play the peacekeeper for Harry. And he just went for the jugular with this new book, so now it's time for Charles to stick a fork in him and that Caligula's bride and call it a day before they do any more harm. The monarchy has survived countless setbacks over the centuries, but never such self-inflicted wounds from its own. Charles, of whom family unity and stability has always been a top priority, now is forced to take extraordinary steps to uphold the institution. The recent revelations have now left him no option but to act in a way that will have long-term consequences. The king himself is said to be more determined than ever. He knows what is at stake if he does nothing, and public confidence in the monarchy is put at risk. As public perception wavers, Charles will do whatever it takes to demonstrate that no one, not even his own family, is untouchable where the crown is concerned. It's not just a personal vendetta, it's a strategy, to make sure that the teachings by which monarchies stand on, are reaffirmed. These are not decisions taken lightly, and we are saddened by those choices. Symbolism is the point here. The monarchy will not stand for disloyalty and treachery. Charles will cut all ties through a process to be known as pruning the perch, by the couple who caused one of the greatest constitutional crises in history by deciding to up sticks and move to LA just weeks before Carrie Simons gave birth to baby Wilf. The move is purportedly to further shield the Vedens, nip any possible future antics in the bud, and secure the future lineage of the royals. Shocked Charles is hopeful their punishment also sets an example to anyone else who is thinking of milking their royal links. It serves as a reminder that with royalty, your privileges come with some kind of responsibility. A breach of trust, if ever there is one, will be better continue to not arise. His tough talk is meant to act as a deterrent, to remind Thais that the monarchy is rooted in divine values that will be enforced. Now that the dust has settled, it remains to be seen how this startling turn of events will play out in the ever theater of the royal saga. Many will identify with Charles's resolve to protect the reputation of the monarchy, which they believe in symbolizes tradition and continuity. In a society where the distinction between public service and private ambition is so often blurred, his firm intervention could be interpreted as a necessary reinforcement of the spirit of the crown. In the end, it's not all about laying waste to Harry and Meghan from Charles, it is simply to restate some of the principles that have brought the monarchy to its immense age. It is to guarantee that the monarchy remains a lifeless and duty-bound symbol of unity and dignity. And, most significantly, it is about leaving a legacy for the generations that will come after us. The prodigal son, Harry, has been cancelled permanently, and Meghan's slimy leeching ways have nudged the snoozing lion that she has been poking back into life. We are in for some fireworks, and a full-blown war that is about to be waged by the king and the whole royal machinery by now. It has turned into all-out Armageddon, with mud flying in all directions as both sides have attempted to land killer blows in the battle to damage the reputations of Harry and Meghan forever. We are seeing these two being more gutted than any other time in memory. Sources close to the clan think it will be an absolute blackballing of anything and everything royal from this point on. This week's report from Katie Nicholl makes it sound like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been ousted from the royal family completely, no coming back from pity invitation to society, at Sophie's Christmas party, when invited. Even the children, Archie and Lilibet, will not be safe from them serving as human shields. Their extremely fragile royal titles are probably being deleted across the board at this rate. It's the innocent children, caught in the middle of their parents' drama, who will suffer the most in this royal fallout. This new book deal amounts to Harry placing a target on the back of his entire family, and now the royals have every reason to go to war on him in response. The writing of this literary myth is apparently the final insult for the crown to take drastic measures. There are lurid leaks about, with snippets from Charles and William's messages, giving Harry a role as the scorned weakling who has abandoned his responsibilities and relatives in their hour of want. The media is likely to be bombarded by tell-all interviews with some of his 30-plus staffers who watched his bratty delusions and her bossy theatrics up close. The royal family is preparing for a scorched earth campaign to obliterate anything that might resemble affection or respect for Harry and Meghan among the public. Financially, Harry and Meghan will be devastated. Disinheriting Sloggers and Shears from the family tree will only be the tip of the iceberg. The royal firm will make an example of her if necessary. That absolutely, positively no disobedience will be tolerated. The consequences will be vast and devastating, and will have a direct impact on all areas of their life. One message rings loud and clear above all others: there is no room for betrayal or disloyalty to the firm. Never before has there been such an extreme and drastic royal retaliation. Former familial and conflicting loyalties have been replaced by a pathological need for revenge and power. And now the king, with the entire royal armory behind him, will wage all-out war to finish Harry and Meghan off for good. This will be more like an extended war than a short battle and will last beyond months, possibly years, and will leave a scar on all sides. When the dust clears, however, the world will see a royal overhaul anchored in loyalty and observance of tradition. Once among the modern stories of fairy tales, Harry and Meghan, in their duplicity, are now a tale of woe about not knowing one's place and the price that must be paid. In other words, the royals seizing back their story and making absolutely certain nobody can question their enthusiastic adherence to the crown. Well, the fireworks have barely started, as the all-out war is about to be fought by all sides with a purity of purpose that would secure the very stones themselves. And in any event, Harry and Meghan will be pushed to the point where they will have no other way than to respond in kind by firing PR missiles and launching more absurdity-filled oppression Olympics theatrics to the press. From the monarchy's equally desperate vagabond royals bellowing racial epithets into the void of their waning relevance, the lawsuits and charges of racism are likely to come at breakneck pace. That, let's be honest, and without the Royal Association, all Meghan and her hostage have in their puny personal armory. Competing in the pity Olympics and screaming bigot in the hopes that some of it will stick Sockner. This abject turnabout is too much for the royals to stomach, and they have now finally lost patience with the continual humiliation and toxicity from the Montecito morons. And that scorched earth belongs to the king himself, the last vestige of paternal protectiveness like ash in the atmosphere. It is the ultimate generational clash of egos and self-interest. An unstoppable force is meeting an immovable object. Henry, the delusional dunce, who believes he can play arsonist and firefighter in his dealings with the firm, is about to have a most shocking, karmic reckoning of firestorm proportions. The Harry-Meghan saga is like a soap opera in a weirder-than-fiction tale of royal life gone way off the rails. The couple have been embraced and castigated in equal measure, from the moment they quit royal duties, citing their mental health and a craving for privacy, and then proceeded to take part in an avalanche of media appearances and tell-all interviews. They narrate wanting independence and they expose deep structural problems in the monarchy while whining huge support and heavy criticism, making them a global obsession. But it seems the royal family are running out of patience. With each public step Harry and Meghan take getting bolder, the battle lines are being drawn, sources predicting an all-out media war are being put in place. The traditional and secretive world of the monarchy struggles with the demands of an era of social media and 24-hour news. The pressure is intense for both, and both sides have as much to lose as they do to repay the loyalty awarded to them by the team they now fight against. A single figure whose transition from adored prince to controversial pariah has been especially stark is Harry. Image copyright Getty Images Image caption Once viewed as Prince Charles and Princess Diana's charming, rebellious younger son, Harry is an image of a different kind for a royal family crying out for growth and change, and a Duke of Sussex newly married to a mixed-race American actress. All of this was cause for optimism. The drama that followed, however, showed more dysfunction, with an exploded view of bitter family feuds and public relations dueling. Meghan's own battle to exist in and then more significantly outside of the royal infrastructure has been equally relevant. More than 300,000 people petitioned the government to investigate negative media coverage of her that potentially broke the law, but former royal staffer Claire Tack said poor coverage of Markle was driven by clickbait logic and sensationalism. At the same time, relentless media scrutiny and accusations from her own father that she was seeking attention have eclipsed her advocacy for women's rights and mental health awareness. From their lucrative deals with streaming services to their court battles against British tabloids, the couple's choices have only served to intensify the public's obsession with their tale. This battle has no winners, as the world watches and clearly sees. As Harry and Meghan attempt to find their path in the uncharted waters of existing as their own autonomous royals, the very veneer or fabric of the royal family is in jeopardy. Key to this saga still is, how is this war going to develop and to what effect to the institution of monarchy for one, and the couple at the other extreme? What do you guys make of it? Sound off in the comments and please let me know what you think. Until that time, get more crazy and scandalizing stories and exposés on our YouTube channel. Please like, share, and follow for the latest updates from the royal family. Thanks for watching. Check back soon for even more breaking news related to the royals. Bye for now.